China's president says relations with Malaysia have entered, quote, a new golden age. Xi Jinping moving to consolidate ties with neighbours as he tries to ease the pressure from trade tensions with the United States. President Xi and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim witnessed the exchange of 31 agreements on trade. The two sides also seeking more collaboration in other areas, including artificial intelligence and green development. The Chinese leader has called for support for an international system centered on what he calls the rule of law. Malaysia, which holds the current chairmanship of ASEAN, is hoping to stay neutral while navigating U.S. tariffs. China, though, wants to position itself as a reliable partner, particularly to bloc members who are amongst the hardest hit from those duties from Washington. And for more, our correspondent Melissa Goh joins us live from Kuala Lumpur. Melissa, that meeting between President Xi Jinping and Malaysia's Anwar Ibrahim, what emerged from that meeting?
Well, both Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and President Xi Jinping met for over an hour at the Prime Minister's official residence in Sri Perdana and witnessed signing of some 31 documents, MOUs, letter of intent, before adjourned for dinner. Now, in his speech, Mr. Anwar said that in this time of great economic uncertainties, where globalization is in retreat and erosion of rules-based trading order, he sees hope and certainties that in China, as a friend, a neighbor, and a reliable partner. He said against a country which he didn't name specifically is putting so much pressure on regional economies, including ASEAN, which Malaysia chairs. Now, Chinese President Xi, meanwhile, in his charmed offensive, have doubled down on the need for Malaysia, for ASEAN, and China to stick together closer than before to buffer and mitigate the impact of sweeping tariffs by the U.S. Now, China in particular is hit with over 100% tariffs, while Southeast Asian countries that benefited significantly under China Plus One strategy as companies moved their operation to Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia to bypass the U.S. trade restrictions and so on, equally are slapped with high tariffs ranging from 10 to 49%, although that's been suspended for 90 days. But what's happening after 90 days, anyone's guess. And it's unnerving as we speak, as US is now probing on semiconductor and other sectors that were previously exempted for Malaysia. Now, let's have a listen from both leaders. They said this is a golden era. Let's take a listen.
What we are witnessing today is not an honest reckoning with the imperfections of globalization, but the retreat into economic tribalism. Market access is being weaponized. What was once a multilateral covenant for shared growth now buckles under the weight of arbitrary disruption and unilateral whip.
面对当前国际秩序和经济全球化遭受冲击，两国将同地区国家团结一致，共同抵御地缘政治和阵营对抗暗流，突破单边主义和保护主义逆流，保护好亚洲家园的美好发展前景。
Melissa, reflecting that golden era, you mentioned those dozens of letters of intent and MOUs. Of course, those signal different degrees of commitment from both sides. Which ones really matter and what do they signal?
You mean of the 31
Yes.
MOUs,
Yes.
agreements, and letter of intents that were signed?
Exactly.
They include export of fresh coconuts. Fresh coconuts, not just durians, also panda conservation, synchronizing standards to allow greater access of goods to railway technology, AI, digital economy, including incorporating Baidu satellite navigation system, also to enhance people-to-people ties in education, in research, as well as boosting tourism, enhancing media exchange, visa-free arrangement. Lots were signed, but hardly any details at this point in time. But safe to say that President Xi is on his charm offensive to woo Southeast Asian countries, expanding its influence. Now, Malaysia is rolling out the red carpet big time. I mean, let's check out this giant 360-degree, LED screen that's been, displayed in downtown Kuala Lumpur. This building welcoming Xi from Prime Minister Anwar, and despite him being put on the tight spot, as many countries in Southeast Asia we know, including Malaysia, is trying to get an appointment with Washington to commence trade negotiations and hoping to find that, US can lower the tariffs and, put us in a better spot. But at the same time, Malaysia has insisted that it's an open economy, will trade with everyone, including both US and China.
Well, thanks. And Melissa Goh looking at the Chinese charm offensive and the red carpet welcome from Malaysia.